I heard a really wise saying the other day, and that is that a man thrives in silence. And it's because that's when he truly has the opportunity to manifest new ideas and to innovate and to think essentially of new things. And I mean, it's definitely true because ever since I've started allowing myself more time to just sit and be in the moment, I've seen that my brain just it works better. It's just able to churn out ideas a lot quicker and able to just solve things and do things at an easier rate, more effortlessly. Um, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video, because I want people to see the same results that I've seen from this small tactic that I've implemented, because it's 15 minutes a day is what I'm going to be suggesting to you at the end of this video, and we'll get a little bit more into the challenge later on. But I just want to give you a forewarning before I get into everything is this is going to take you at least 15 minutes a day. So if you don't have 15 minutes a day, then I guess stop listening. However, if you're interested and you think that maybe the information I'm about to tell you might be worth trying to find 15 minutes a day, then stay along. Let me try to convince you, and let me just kind of explain everything and make it make sense. So, the video that I was watching that was talking about this idea that men do best when in silence, the main idea of the video was talking about how we as a human society are consumers. We are over consumers, in fact. The moment we wake up, we check our phone and we immediately cause problems for ourselves. We cause problems for ourselves because we see the text from our boss, something's going wrong at work. We see the text from a family member, something's going wrong. Stuff is always going wrong. The other problem is that we are attached to instant gratification. And that's why what I'm going to tell you in this video is going to be so difficult for a lot of people, but it's also going to be what sets the pack apart. It's going to be what's going to really highlight who is about the life and who isn't, who's about, excelling, and who actually wants to go to greater heights in their life. That's what's going to be highlighted by the I guess common denominator here, which is time. Time is what you have on your side. You can either spend 15 minutes a day sitting in silence and practicing, or you can go on your phone, you can watch TikToks, you can watch videos, you can watch YouTube, you can watch movies, you can watch TV, you can do all of these things, okay? And I'm not anti-entertainment. Don't get that wrong. I'm not anti-dopamine. I'm not anti-entertainment. I think that you should have fun. I'm all for it. I have fun myself. I watch videos myself. I watch TV myself. I do all these things. I'm a normal person. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm saying no one, I mean, obviously some people do, but a large portion of the society has completely neglected themselves. They've neglected themselves and they've neglected their minds. So, to get in physical shape, you go to the gym for an hour every single day. You rest. The rest periods are important. You have to eat. You have to do all these things in order to get in good shape. And because people go to the gym and they go to work and they hang out with friends and family, they think to themselves, okay, I'm having a successful life. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But they forget that small detail. Your brain and your mind is you, and it exists within you. They forget that they are them. And I think a lot of people, they get really invested and they spend a lot of time allocated to someone else's moment rather than living in their own moment. And that's why my challenge to you is to try to practice for 15 minutes every single day. It's active, diligent practice of sitting in silence for 15 minutes. And I'm not telling you to be a Buddhist and, I'm not telling you to get with the vibrations of the universe. I'm not telling you to meditate. I'm not telling you to do any of that. I am telling you to sit in silence for 15 minutes and try to live in the moment, to bring yourself back each time that you get distracted. Each time you think of something, bring yourself back, say, nope, I'm in the moment. So you think of a problem at work, say, okay, maybe you have a notepad in front of you, take a note of it, deal with it after the 15 minutes is up, but bring yourself back. A good exercise to bring yourself back every single time is to think of something specific, like a purple giraffe. Think of it specifically, though. Does it have spots? Where is it? Is it on an island? Is it in a desert? Now, don't think so specific that you're investing all of your brain power on trying to create some sort of fairy tale mythical creature, but invest enough to where it keeps you focused on being in the moment. You keep yourself focused on being in the moment, and you practice this so many times. What you are doing is your direct conscious is telling your subconscious, hey, knock it off. We're not going to get distracted. We're going to get right back to the moment, right? So your subconscious wanders. It thinks about work. It thinks about family problems. It thinks about all these things. You tell yourself, hey, we're not thinking about that right now. We're in the moment. You directly train your brain and you're able to control your mind, which is a superpower. Mind control is a superpower. But to put it into perspective for you so that it makes sense, so that this can really make sense, is people tell you that, people will always suggest to you that, rest, you need rest. You need rest if you want to gain muscle. You need rest if you're going to actually make results. They don't tell you that about your brain. Now, yeah, you sleep. Yeah, you rest. You take naps. I mean, you have to actively rest, though. You have to actively live in the moment. That's the thing, is you're practicing being in the moment. You're not practicing turning your brain off. You're practicing being in the moment. So yes, you're trying to turn off everything else that's happening. You're trying to turn off those distractions in your brain, but you're trying to turn your brain on ultimately. You're trying to still be in the moment. So you actively practice that moment in silence, and you're actively in that moment. You're going to see the results. You're going to see that you have control over your mind, and that at a moment's notice you can switch your attention. What this will also do is it will allow your subconscious to free some of its space up, because you train your subconscious not to think about the problems that you have going on. You teach yourself hey, work's not important right now. We're not thinking about that. We'll think about work when we're at work, or whatever. We'll think about work when we're trying to think about work. So then your subconscious actually starts doing what it needs to do for you, which is generating new ideas, because 80% of your brain is subconscious. So you want 80% of your brain producing the ideas, right? Not 20% of your brain. So you train yourself, and your subconscious starts actually generating newer, innovative ideas for you eventually. Now, this isn't going to happen day one, because you don't go to the gym one time and get super jacked. You go to the gym for an hour a day for a year straight, and then you get some substantial results, right? This is going to take time. You're not going to get instant gratification from this. That's the problem with what I'm telling you, is I'm telling you you're not going to see the results right away. You're just not. And unfortunately, that's just something that I'm not able to promise you. I am able to promise you results. I just can't promise you instant results. So you can trust in me and, spend the next 3 months and see the results that happen, or you can say, I don't believe a single word this guy's saying, and move on. But I hope that I'm able to inspire you to do this, because I've seen the impact it's made in my life, and I've seen the results from it. So I just want to share this method with everyone. So 15 minutes a day is all you really need. You need to be able to sit down in the morning for 15 minutes. You need to be able to sit in silence, bring yourself back, and just live in the moment for 15 minutes. Eventually, you do that for 3 months, you're going to see the results. You're going to see the results because results compound like that. Now, if you can do 15 minutes in the evening as well, even more power to you. You're going to have a moment in the morning where you're able to churn ideas and think of things, and you're going to have a moment at night where you're able to reflect on the day, but you're still able to bring yourself back to the moment. That's the thing, is I don't want you to confuse this with this is where I think about everything in my day. No, you're actively trying to not think about things, but as things come in, kind of take mental note of them, write them down maybe, but you're actually trying to not think of anything. You're trying to think about the fact that you are right here, right now. Where am I? I'm in Oregon. Where am I? I'm in a hotel. Where am I? I am here in a chair talking to you. I'm in the moment. So you actively train your brain to live in the moment. You take minimal notes of the things that are going on. You think, but you don't really think. You're trying not to think. You're trying to allow your subconscious to kind of autopilot for you, but also only if it's benefiting you. When you get those distracting thoughts that you don't need to be worrying about right now, you tell it, hey, knock it off. If you start thinking about work, and even if it is an important problem that you need to solve, turn it off unless it's creating a solution for you. You can take note of the problem, but your brain, all the problems that you have are only problems because your brain has made them problems. You've only made them problems because they are problems. Okay? And it might be blissful ignorance, but it's true. So, it's only a problem because you've made it a problem. So, what you can do is you can create solutions, or you cannot do anything. Your brain is supposed to create solutions. That's why you sit in silence. So if that problem keeps coming in your head, you can write it down, but come back to the moment, think, just focus on in the moment, and your subconscious, it's going to start doing the work for you in the background. Eventually a solution might come up. It might not come up at that moment, but it will come up. You're training your subconscious to do more for you. But you also have to allocate enough of your brain power to where it's not constantly being occupied, right? That's the thing, is we can solve problems obviously when we're doing other things, but are we creating the best solutions, or allowing our brain, the actual brain power, to do what it needs to do? A lot of the times the answer is no. So if you actively sit there and just get in the moment, don't meditate necessarily, but just get in the moment, you're going to see the results, and you're going to make it really far in life. Like I said, I suggest 15 minutes a day. Try to do this for a 3-month time frame. If you don't have 15 minutes in the day, I'm going to suggest this to you because I want this to work. I want this to work for you. I'm here to help. So that's why I'm giving you so many different ways that you can implement this into your life. If you're not able to get 15 minutes in the morning and you're not able to get 15 minutes at night, do it on the car ride to work. Do it on the car ride home from work. I need you to just do it at some point in the day. Obviously, if you're not going to be doing it 15 minutes in the morning in complete silence and not doing anything, you're not going to see as good of results as the person who, is able to. But you're still going to see better results than everyone else, because everyone else, like I've been telling you in this video, like I said at the beginning of the video, everyone else is so obsessed with things that are ongoing and, watching YouTube, watching videos, watching movies, entertaining themselves, keeping themselves occupied. Everyone is so obsessed with doing those things that they're not allowing themselves time to do it. So what's gonna set you apart is that you have 15 minutes on them that they don't, or you have 5 minutes on them that they don't. Now, obviously, I think that there's a certain point, where you have to block it off for yourself, because that's where you see the best results. You actually have to actively practice it. You can't just willy-nilly it and expect stuff to happen. But, if you're going to do it in the car, I'm not saying sit in the car in silence and drive to work. I'm saying sit in the car in silence and drive to work, but also the entire time you're driving to work, the moment your brain has a distracted thought, you're bringing it back and saying, nope, we're here, we're driving to work, we're not thinking about that right now. You do that for long enough, for 3 months, you get control over your brain. You train your subconscious to start working better because you're freeing up more of its brain power and you're giving it the practice it needs to start actually, producing results. Because the person that plays soccer for an hour every single day and practices every single day is going to outperform the person that doesn't practice. You want your business to do successful, but you only want to brainstorm ideas every 3 months for 15 minutes, for 30 minutes, for an hour? Okay, that's great, but what practice do you have? What practice have you implemented? You haven't implemented any, that's right. But I'm telling you, the compound interest of daily practice is so substantial that in 3 months you're going to see the results. And that's why I tell you, 15 minutes a day, every single day for 3 months, because daily compounding interest of the process and of the method will create these results for you. You want to create a successful business? Okay, then start practicing that business. Start practicing on yourself. It sounds weird because we really typically only apply that idea to sports. We're like, okay, you practice, multiple hours a day, for your entire life if you want to be an NFL football player. Okay, well, if you want to be a successful business owner, why would you not do the same thing? Why would you not practice a couple hours every single day on trying to brainstorm ideas, on trying to control your mind? You want to think of all these ideas, but you're not practicing on thinking the ideas. Soccer players, they need to control the soccer ball and they need to get the ball into the net. How do they control the soccer ball? By practicing how they move and by practicing drills. So, how do you solve problems? How do you innovate ideas? Well, your ideas, your solutions, those are the net. The ball is your mind. You have to control the ball to get the result, right? You have to control the ball down the field, get it in the net. Control the ball, make the solution. The ball is what you have to control. The drills, the practice, that is the silence. That is sitting in the moment and just being there, right? You have plenty of different drills that you can do. People are going to suggest, stay hydrated. That's one form of practice. That's something that you should practice on your day-to-day life if you want to be good. I'm telling you, there's not going to be a single NFL player that you're going to run into, probably. I say that probably because I'm sure that there probably is one that only drinks Pepsi or something like that. But, I'm fairly confident that, all professional players of any sport, they're drinking water every single day because it's a necessity for what they do. The same way it's a necessity if you want to create a good business and a good business idea, you have to practice on being in the moment, not consuming things, but being in the moment creating things. You have to create things every single day. Practice every single day creating things. And don't even try to create it. You don't have to try. That's what I'm telling you. Is your subconscious does it for you. You just have to allow it to fucking do it for you. You have to stop occupying with all this bullshit that you're watching. You have to sit in silence. Because when has anyone ever actively tried to think of a good idea? Really, the reason that they got that good idea was because they tried so hard. It's not. All good ideas come from not fucking trying, and it's because your subconscious is 80% of what's cranking out your brain power for you, and if you allow it to actually work, it starts doing a really good fucking job. That's why if you do it for an hour a day, I'm telling you, 15 minutes a day is minimum, but the more time you can allocate to it, the better. I'm telling you, maybe split it into periods of 15 minutes though, because after a certain point, it's I really should be getting along with my day. you're gonna have those same thoughts. So what, like 3 minutes? Don't get turned off by those thoughts, because those thoughts are genuinely bad. Um, and you do need to be sitting there for time, and allowing yourself um, time of silence. But if you can do it 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes to work, 15 minutes on the way home from work, 15 minutes at night, and you give yourself an hour, you're going to be so much further ahead than everyone else. But it comes down to active practice. So you actively practice being in the moment. You actively, turn your brain off in a way, but you're almost actively turning it on as well. By turning your brain off, you turn your subconscious on. Like turning your conscious off and like unoccupying your mind, you turn this factory of ideas on in your head, where your subconscious just starts getting to produce those ideas, and they just start flowing out of you. And you might have some of this, your first time doing it. It might take you a few weeks before this starts happening, but eventually, after you've allowed yourself this time of silence for a long enough time period, you're just gonna see that like immediate result. It's gonna feel like it happened overnight. You're gonna sit down on one of your 15-minute time frames. You're gonna think about the purple giraffe, and you're gonna just think about the purple giraffe, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's an amazing idea. I need to work on that right now. And then you don't work on it right now, because this is your time of silence. You just keep sitting there in silence, and then you get fucking 50 more ideas, and 50 more ideas, and 50 more ideas, and they're all branching off of each other, and they can all be kind of manipulated in a way to kind of go into a big picture. You have an idea about this thing. Oh, but if I do this, then this is how I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna do it. You create all these solutions in your head. Dude, you've done it. That's all you needed. All you needed was time to like be with yourself. As fun as it is to watch TikTok, and as fun as it is to watch a movie, it's so much more fun and so much more satisfying when you get to create something and think of something that's original to you, and that you have done. It's inspired by you. So my challenge to you: 15 minutes a day, every single day, whether it's on the way to work, or you actively can sit in silence for 15 minutes, like with nothing else going on. I really suggest the latter, but do what works for you, but do it consistently. And instant gratification, I know it's so difficult because you're not going to get it, but trust in the process. If you trust in the process, come back in 3 months and tell me how you're doing. I promise you'll have made progress. Come back in a year, tell me how you're doing. I promise you'll have made progress. With that said, I hope everyone has an amazing day. I hope this inspired some of you. If not, I hope you're thriving in life anyways. But yeah, take it easy. Peace out.